recording the call. And also, I am already going to share my screen na. Okay, just wait na lang po. Please let me know if you could be able to see my screen already.
Nakikita na po, sir.
Nakikita na, sir.
Ayan. Malinaw ang audio ko, guys. Sa lahat.
Malinaw po.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, tignan natin ha kung mabilis yung transition ng slide ko. I'm changing it next slide. See it? Wala. Hello, guys.
Opo, mabilis po.
Okay. Sige, so para at magbibigay pa rin ako ng some seconds no bago ako mag-start pag nag-transition ako to the next slide. Okay? Kasi magkaroon tayo ng same issue kagaya last time. Nakikita niyo na yung recording sa screen ninyo.
Yes, sir.
Okay? So pag may questions kayo guys, ano nga ba gagawin natin? Chat doon sa chat box or even raise your hands para kayo ay matawag ko. Okay? And also to avoid any kumbaga feedback of noise. Okay? So let's start. So we are already finished with our discussion of the liabilities. Okay? So natapos na tayo sa non-financial. Tapos na rin po tayo sa financial. We are still on track kasi ang ating midterm examination is consisting of shareholders equity. Lahat nung in-upload ko na presentation nung last week pa. Okay? So lahat yon up to next week's discussion, it will cover everything. Mahaba yung time natin to discuss more problems related to shareholders equity. Okay? So
Sir, 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 Sir Chappy po.
Nagbabuffer po, sir. Putil-putil po.
how about this time, guys?
Okay na po.
Clear, sir.
Clear na. Okay, pasensya. Ganyan din yung issue kanina eh. I'm using the laptop kasi kanina. Okay, so wait lang ha. I will be sharing to you my screen. Saglit lang ng konti. Okay na, hindi ako nagbabuffer guys sa sa voice, sa audio.
Hindi na po, sir.
Hindi na po, sir.
Please let me know agad ha mamaya kapag kasi I'm not sure kung ano ang issue. Malinaw ko kayo naririnig eh. Okay, I am now sharing my screen. Please let me know pag nakikita nyo na.
Nakikita na po.
Nakikita na po, sir.
Okay, sige. Test mic, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Audio, kamusta?
Okay po.
Okay naman. Okay. Sige, so I hope na okay na lahat ha, guys. Naririnig na ako ng malinaw.
Naririnig na po, sir.
Okay. So for today, we will be discussing three part of this shareholders equity, no, wherein it relates to the authorization, subscription, and issuance of shares. So the latter part of this discussion will focus actually more on the share capital mismo, okay, the issuance and subscription at saka share premium. Okay, bago tayo mag-proceed sa mga topics na to, let's first understand ano nga ho ba ang equity. Okay? So based on the conceptual framework, okay? I think naman na-discuss ninyo yung conceptual framework in the 2020 version, 2018 version of the conceptual framework sa CPAS po ninyo. Okay? It defines equity as the residual interests, okay, of the asset of an entity after deducting its liabilities. So basically, in your basic accounting, di ba, asset is equal to liabilities plus capital, okay, wherein, or even other term for equity is capital actually. Okay, so pag transpose nyo siya, your equity or capital will be equal to asset minus liability. And that's how this definition of equity, okay, was being used for in our accounting equation. Okay, so it is a residual interest of the asset after deducting the liability. So this equity account varies depending upon the type of business organization. So sa inyong sole proprietorship, the equity is eventually typical na capital, 'di ba? Bergonya capital. Ganun lang. Tama ba? Pag partnership, okay, your capital account or equity account is comprised of various partners capital. Kung ilan yung partners, ganun din karami yung capital. But right now, in our discussion, no, to the context of our shareholders equity discussion, it is focused more on corporation. Okay? So ang shareholders equity is applicable for corporation. Other term for it is stockholders equity. Okay? Before I proceed, narinig ba ng malinaw yung sinabi ko?
Yes, sir.
Hindi nag-choppy? Clear? Guys, magsalita kayo para malaman ko ha.
Opo.
Clear
Baka mamaya
po.
Clear po.
okay. Baka kasi mamaya nakalayo na ako. Tapos ano pala hindi nyo narinig. Okay? So, sige, going back to my discussion, that's the definition of equity. Aside from that, okay, it is comprised of all funds, okay, not necessarily cash, okay, contributed by shareholders. Of course, if it is a shareholder's equity, this capital or equity is comprised of anything given by shareholders. So, kung sa sole proprietorship, coming from sole proprietor, sa partnership, coming from partners, okay, shareholders equity is formed because of this shareholders. Okay? So mamaya pag-uusapan natin, ano ba tong mga contributed by shareholders na to? Okay? Diyan papasok yung tinatawag natin na contributed capital. Okay, maya-maya pag-usapan natin yan. Then, we have as well retained earnings. Okay, it is where we accumulate the earnings or the profit of the corporation. And then reserves of appropriation. So, in one of our discussion, we will be discussing about appropriations of retained earnings. and also representing capital maintenance adjustments. So in your conceptual framework, okay, so meron kayong diniscuss na dalawang capital maintenance concept, 'di ba? You have financial capital maintenance concept and you have physical capital maintenance concept. Okay, in this case, we will be using, of course, the financial capital concept. Okay, kaya nabanggit dito yung capital maintenance adjustments. Okay, so that's what equity is. Okay, so any question, guys, about the definition of equity? So again, we will be focusing on a corporation perspective. Any question?
Wala po.
Okay, so I am already... Walang question, guys? Baka meron na. Just speak na lang kasi wala akong ano pala. Hindi ko makikita yung pag-raise ng hands ninyo. Okay? Sige, kung wala, I am on the categories of shareholders equity. Nakikita ho ba?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. So, actually, kung mapapansin ninyo, lahat ng mga naka-upload na files related to shareholders equity, except para doon sa share warrants at saka share rights, no? Lahat po yun na-discuss nyo na in the corporation accounting. Anong year kayo nag-discuss ng corporation accounting, guys? Di ba FAR 1 is merchandising and service, tama ba? Sa FAR 2 nyo ba diniscuss yung corporation accounting?
Yes po, sir.
Okay. So,
First year, second term po.
okay. Thank you very much. So, actually, yun nga, mapapansin ninyo, this shareholders equity discussion is actually summarized version nung inyong corporation accounting. Okay, so yun nga lang, we will put some complexity kasi this is already intermediate accounting. So my approach here for you is to again redefine how it works, no, from the scratch. So ituturo ko pa rin as you have seen the slides na mga pinesend ko sa inyo kung paano siya matutunan in the basic accounting. And then pagdating natin sa problem solving, let's make things complicated by combining all of the concepts in various problems. Okay? So kumbaga kung mabubore man kayo dito, this is just isipin nyo na lang a review of the corporation accounting ninyo. Okay? So, showing you on the screen are various categories of our shareholders equity. Okay? Kasi as you all know, the shareholders equity consists of various items which starts with the share capital. Okay? Ang share capital po mamaya i-discuss natin yan thoroughly. Okay? Wherein it comprises all of the contributions, okay, at par, okay, par o kaya naman at stated value of a shareholder, okay, which may include the preference share capital and ordinary share capital. So later, guys, there would be a separate discussion about the distinction of preference and ordinary. So mamaya ko na lang po yan i-discuss sa inyo. And also, I forgot to mention here that share capital will also include yung tinatawag natin na subscribe. Okay? Subscribe capital or subscribe share capital. Okay? Kasama rin ho yan dyan dito sa ating share capital. Okay? Then, we have also share premium. So, share premium or paid-in capital accounts, they are all the same. Also, other term for share premium or paid-in capital is additional paid-in capital. Okay? So, pare-parehas din po yan na sila-sila po ay excess ng consideration over the par value or stated value of the shares. Okay? So, before I proceed, no, we have various examples of paid-in capital or premium depending upon the the ways how they were being used, no? Again, share premium or paid-in capital or additional paid-in capital are just the same, no? Excess of the consideration versus the par or stated value. Sir, ano yung consideration? Tumutukoy siya dun sa either cash or property. Later, we will be discussing kung ano yung marireceive ng corporation, okay, kapag in-issue natin yung ating shares. So, these bullet items are the various titles which we will try to use in various situations. No, meron tayong paid-in capital in excess of stated value. So, kapag ginamit ang stated value, instead of share premium lang ang ilagay, pwedeng in excess of stated value. Kapag nagbenta naman tayo later, later ba yon or baka by Thursday's discussion, mapapag-usapan natin yung treasury shares. I think mamaya kasi we will be talking about reacquisition. Hindi, wala pa palang reacquisition mamaya. So it's only authorization, issuance, and subscription. So by Thursday pa talaga yung treasury share. Then we have also retirement, okay, which will be introduced to you as well by next meeting. Then we have also donated shares. So mamaya in our acquisition by donation, okay, we will have paid in capital on that. Tapos na-discuss na natin to in bonds, okay? We have the paid in capital arising from bond conversion privilege. Kung naalala po ninyo, we have talked about this in the discussion of convertible bonds. Tapos, share options outstanding, wala pa tayo nito kasi it would be on the finals under IFRS number 2. Okay? By the way, kung magre-review kayo guys in any of the books, wag nyo munang pansinin itong IFRS number 2 or share-based payments. Okay? Kasi it will be discussed at kasama pa siya sa finals pa. Okay? Finals pa yan ipapasok. So, ang limit lang natin sa shareholders equity is up to the share rights and warrants. Okay? And also, we have share warrants outstanding. Saan nyo to naalala? Saan mo to naalala, Miss Miss Frances? Saan mo naalala yung share warrants outstanding na yan? Miss Frances, are you here in the call? Frances
Po,
Nicole?
sir. Yes po, sir.
Saan mo naalala yung share warrants outstanding na yan?
Sir, if I'm not mistaken po sa current liabilities po.
Saan? Sorry?
Sa current liabilities po, sir.
Current liabilities. Anong current liabilities yon?
Sa provisions po.
Okay. Actually, yung share warrants na yan, nasa bond with warrants. Di ba yung detachable and non-detachable warrants? Naalala niyo yun sa bonds. Nanggaling yan sa bonds. Okay? Yung bonds with detachable or non-detachable warrant. Actually, magkaano to eh. Itong conversion privilege at saka share warrants outstanding, nanggaling na yan dun sa discussion natin ng may compound financial instruments. Okay? So ayun lang naman. I just want to check kung naalala nyo pa sila. But if not, then reminder lang, malapit na ang midterm exam. Okay? Any question guys before I proceed to the next slide? Is my audio clear? Naintindihan ba yung discussion? Miss Melana, narinig ba ako na maayos?
Yes po, sir.
Okay. Any question, guys? Unmute yourself, isa-isa lang before I proceed.
Wala po, sir.
Okay. Sige, so I will be transitioning to next slide. By the way, yung pagsulat ko ba sa screen, nakikita nyo agad real time? Or nagdi-delay? Kasi pagkasabi ko, isinusulat ko agad dito.
Nakikita po agad, sir.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So I am transitioning now to other categories under the stockholders equity or shareholders equity. Okay. So as you can see in the screen, we have retained earnings. Okay. So nabanggit kanina ito that this is where we accumulate our profit or loss. Okay? Kung sa sole proprietorship at partnership, ang profit or loss ay kino-closing entry saan? Sa capital, diretso sa capital. Sa share sa corporation, we close the profit or loss to our retained earnings account. Okay? And it will include your prior period adjustments. I think if I'm not mistaken, naka-discuss na ba kayo ng IAS number 8, guys, sa sa CFAS? Na-mention na ba sa inyo to sa CFAS, IAS number 8? Ang title niyan is Accounting Policies, Change in Accounting Estimates and Correction of Errors.
Yes po,
Nabanggit na.
sir.
Okay. So thank you very much for that. Those although hindi ko i-discuss yun ha, binabanggit ko lang kasi actually doon nanggagaling yung prior period adjustments. The prior period adjustments arises from change in accounting policy. Bakit? Kasi ang sabi sa IAS number 8, it should be accounted for what? Retro. Okay? Retro. Respectively. Okay? Pag sinabing retrospectively, okay, babalikan mo yung nakaraan. Samantalang yung isa, prospectively, okay, mag-move on ka na. Okay, so kaya ka nagkakaroon ng prior period adjustment because you need to adjust retrospectively and even kapag meron kang errors. Okay, so yan yung mga sources bakit meron tayong prior period adjustments. And let's try to mention some of them as we answer to share. Okay. Then also, another component of the shareholders equity section natin ay yung mga other comprehensive income items, okay? Wherein, in your Intac 1 and 2, actually kakadiscuss ko lang nito kanina in my video sa Intac 1 and 2. Okay, meron tayong discussion doon ng unrealized gains and losses on the equity investment. So sa equity investment at fair value through other comprehensive income, pag kayo po ay, wait lang, tanong ko, natapos nyo to, guys?
Yes po.
Okay, Intac 2 ito, no? Kasi magkahiwalay pa sa inyo yung Intac 1 at 2. Tama ba ako? Anyways, at least,
Magkasama, sir.
magkasama rin, okay? So that's a relief na na-discuss niyo yan, okay? And then, we will have revaluation surplus. Inabot niyo yung PPE? Yung using the revaluation model? Nadaanan yung revaluation surplus doon? Nadaanan niyo yun, guys, or hindi? Guys? Or wala nang maalala?
Sir, opo, na-discuss po yun.
PPE ha, PPE. Na-discuss naman sa inyo. Kung na-discuss, more likely than not, no, na-mention sa inyo under revaluation model, yung revaluation surplus at nagkakaroon lang ng revaluation surplus if the recoverable amount of the asset is greater than the carrying value. Ang counterpart kasi ng revaluation surplus ay impairment loss. Okay, so just ano lang to, dinadaanan ko lang yung terminologies. And then, you have actuarial gains and losses for foreign currency translations. Actually, ito ay para sa Forex accounting na i-discuss nyo sa third year pa ninyo, okay, which is related sa accounting for business combination. Okay, so abang-abang lang. Nabanggit ko lang siya dito. Don't worry, hindi ko naman siya gagamitin during examination, especially those items na hindi nyo pa na i-encounter. Pero actually, marami pa yan. No? As we move forward as well, here in Intermediate Accounting 3, marami pa pong other comprehensive income items. Okay, and lastly, now we have some sort of contra shareholders equity accounts. Okay, burahin ko lang yung ibang items sa screen ko para makita ninyo. So yung contra shareholders equity account natin, guys, are usually treasury shares. Okay, yung treasury shares, pag may natira pong treasury shares at costs, okay, in your presentation of the shareholders equity, deduction po yan, okay, in our SHE. And also, some sort of subscriptions receivable. Okay? Pan-deduct naman yan saan? Kontra siya sa subscribe share capital. Okay? At
Sir,
It-
excuse me.
yes.
Nagpuputol-putol po yung audio.
How about sa iba?
Medyo nagpuputol din po.
How about right now? Nag-stop talaga ako magsalita kasi nagsusulat ako. How about right now, guys? Clear ba yung audio ko? Or what? I stop
Clear na
writing.
Opo, sir.
Clear na po.
Okay. Sorry, nag-stop ako kanina kasi nagsusulat ako. Okay. Anyways, ayun. Going back, i-deduct lang po yung subscriptions receivable kapag not payable within 12 months. Okay, bakit? Kasi kapag payable within next 12 months siya, saan ilalagay? Any idea? Guys, kapag within 12 months, ibig sabihin, saan siya pupunta? Ang subscriptions receivable. Sino nakakaalala ng turo doon sa corporation accounting? Wala? So kapag within 12 months kasi, ang classification po nun ay current asset. Okay, narinig ako guys. Current asset, ang subscriptions receivable kapag collectible within 12 months. Okay? Kaya ang presentation no nasa asset. Pero kapag not collectible within 12 months or more than 12 months siya, then it will be classified as a contra shareholders equity. Hello guys? Are you still there?
Sir, ulit po, medyo choppy po.
Narinig po ba ako ng lahat sa ano?
May part po na nagpuputol-putol.
As mentioned, subscriptions receivable is considered as current asset if payable within 12 months. Pag payable within 12 months, that is considered as current. Kapag more than 12 months or not payable within 12 months, it will become a contra shareholders equity account. Okay, can you repeat what I have said? Sino yung nakarinig na maayos?
Sir, ako po.
Sige, go. Proceed.
Pag yung collectible within 12 months po or receivable po siya, it is considered as current assets. Pag not within 12 months, sa ano po siya papasok? Contra shareholders account po.
Okay, thank you very much. That's correct. Okay? Are we clear on that, guys? Any questions? Supposed to be, dapat hindi pwedeng maging silent yung problem dyan. Pero kapag ginawang silent yung problem, the great presumption is it is not collectible within 12 months, kaya magiging contra equity account siya. Uulitin ko, kapag silent yung problem, pag hindi sinabi whether 12 months siya or hindi na makukolekta, ang assumption natin is it will be deducted in the shareholders equity account. Okay, are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. So that's the categories of our shareholders equity accounts. So actually marami pa yan, no? Lalong-lalo na sa other comprehensive income and retained earnings items. Okay, but it will be discussed i-discuss pa in your future accounting subjects. Okay? So, I will move now to the next slide. Okay, can you see already share capital?
Opo.
Okay? So, yung categories na yon, i-discuss natin isa-isa except para sa other comprehensive income. Kasi nga ho, it entails various items no, na nadaanan nyo from Intac 1 and 2 and other accounting subjects pa. Okay, but the rest, isa-isa natin siyang i-discuss. So let's start with share capital or capital stock, which is the first item in our shareholders equity portion. So this share capital or capital stock in other terminologies refers to fixed amount, okay, by corporate charter to be subscribed. Okay, pag sinabing subscribe, pwedeng, di ba, aware naman kayo sa word na subscribe, it could either be bibilhin na or bibilhin pa lang. Okay, may prospective na siyang bilhin, but it's subscribed doon sa particular share na yon, or even nabayaran na, okay, nung bumili, okay, which will be known as shareholders of the corporation. Okay? So bakit siya fixed amount? Kasi it entails a particular value na maya-maya babanggitin ko yung mga terminologies of the values which represents this fixed amount. Okay? So again, this share capital is actually referring to the number of shares natin, okay, issued multiplied by either its par value or stated. Mamaya i-discuss ko na lang isa-isa itong mga terminologies na to. Number of shares issued and subscribed. Okay, lagay ko lang din dito. Nakikita niyo yung sinusulat ko sa screen, guys? Nakasulat color blue, number of share issued and
Yes,
subscribed multiplied by par or stated value. Kita?
Yes,
Yes
sir.
po.
Opo, sir.
Thank you. So yan yung typical computation if we are referring to share capital or capital stock. Okay? So pag-usapan natin ano-ano yung uri ng shares na pwedeng i-issue at saka ano rin itong par or stated value na to. Okay? So let's move to the next slide where I'm going to discuss the classes of shares. Okay? So as shown in your screen, we have two classes of shares. Meron tayong preference at saka ordinary. Or other term, preferred stock or common stock. Can somebody explain to us before I explain to you? Ano yung difference between preference and ordinary shares? Anybody volunteer? Anong difference itong dalawang ito? Okay, walang gustong mag-volunteer,
Sir,
magtatawa.
try lang po.
Sige, go. Sino to? Sorry.
Hindi ko na po masyado natatandaan pero ang naalala ko pong pinag-differentiate is mas priority po yung mga nag-avail ng preference share capital kaysa po sa ordinary.
Okay, priority as to what? Priority siya as to what? Hello, naririnig pa ho ba ako? Wait lang.
Sir,
guys.
sa liquidation or sa ano po, sa kapag magbabayad na po?
Okay, liquidation or magbabayad. Wait lang guys, I will just fix yung mga nagpo-pop up sa screen ko. Saglit lang. Naka-phone kasi ako eh. Saglit lang po. Stop sharing lang ako saglit. Naririnig naman po ako ng malinaw, guys.
Yes, sir.
Yes po.
Okay, saglit lang Kasing JP yan na to eh. Kung ano-ano naman ang tinatag ako. Saglit lang. Mga pasaway na bata. Ay. Okay. Okay, going back to my screen. Nakikita na ho ba?
Yes po.
Yes po, sir.
Ayan. So, sorry, ano yung sinabi mo kanina? Si Arthur ba yon?
Sa ano po, liquidation or kapag po magbabayad na po ng ano.
Ng ano?
Nakalimutan ko, sir.
Okay. Okay. So, thank you very much. Actually, correct, no? The difference between these two lies on the ability of the preference share capital or the preference shares, no, to be the priority. Okay? Priority siya, hindi kagaya mo. Okay? So, priority siya as to either liquidation. So, pag sinabing liquidation, it's more on pag nagsara yung company, or it is also a priority in terms of the receipt of dividends. Okay, ayun, dividends yung kulang, Arthur, no? Priority siya na maka-receive ng dividends kesa sa ordinary shares. And then also in terms of liquidation, siya po yung unang babayaran muna bago bayaran si ordinary shares. Okay? So it's more on priority, kaya siya preference. Samantalang, an ordinary share is defined as the residual. Okay? The residual share. Bakit? Kasi lahat ng latak nasa kanya. Lahat ng tira. Lalo na kapag may preference shares. Okay? Kasi syempre priority unahin sa dividends. Okay, noted yon, Ingrid. Okay? So, ayun nga, ulitin ko. Dividends will be prioritized for preference, okay, compared with the ordinary shares. Sa liquidation, mauuna muna si preference bago mag-ordinary shares. Pero, yung ordinary share, kapag mag-isa lang siya, then ibig sabihin, lahat ng dividends at saka in terms of liquidation, okay, nasa kanya. Pero kapag sabay po sila, then it means that preference shares will get first before the ordinary shares. Okay? Did you hear that clearly, guys?
Opo.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. May tanong ako. Can we issue only preference shares? I'll repeat my question. Pwede ba tayong mag-issue ng preference shares lang? Yes or no? Genevieve Caplaza, are you here in the class? Mr. Caplaza? Okay, I think wala siya. Let's have Miss Maria Janelle. True or false lang? Or yes or no pala? Can we issue only preference share? Ibig sabihin, walang ordinary share. Hello, Miss Maria Janelle?
Hello po, sir. Sorry po,
Oo.
ang delay po.
Okay. Anong sagot mo?
Sir, para po sa akin, pwede po.
Pwede mag-issue. Okay? Sige, thank you. How about Miko? Miko? Are you with us?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's your answer?
Pakiulit, sir.
Ang tanong ko, pwede ba tayo mag-issue ng preference shares lang?
No, sir.
Why? Bakit kaya? Any idea? Tandaan nyo to ha. Guys, kung kinalimutan nyo mula sa basic accounting ninyo to, utang na loob, nadaan na kayo dito sa stockholders equity sa akin, wag nyo nang kakalimutan ha. The answer is no. You cannot issue a preference share capital only or preference share lang. Bakit? Kasi in our corporation code, only ordinary shares has the voting power. Okay? Siya lang yung may voting power. Sir, para saan yung voting power? Yung voting power is to vote for the board of directors. And the board of directors are those who manages the corporation. Okay? So kaya, there will be no chance that your corporation will have only preference shares. Okay? It could be combination of preference and ordinary. Pwedeng ordinary lang, but not preference shares only. Okay? Are we clear on that, guys?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes po.
Okay? Actually, yan yung preemptive
So,
right at saka voting power, no? Yung mga powers na yun, pag tinignan nyo yung revised corporation code, it is only attributed to ordinary shares. Okay? Wala nga chance na bumoto eh. Di ba? Kung nanonood kayo ng Kadenang Ginto, okay? Na sa ABS-CBN, di ba? Daniela and Romina are having a war over the company. They are voting kung sino magiging CEO ng company, okay? So if that would be preference shares lahat, walang boboto kasi the preference share does not have the voting power. It's only the ordinary share that has the voting power. Okay? Clear, guys?
yes po.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Sige, so we're done with the terminologies as to preference share and ordinary share capital. Okay, so this share capital, aside from that, okay, nabanggit ko to kanina, will be based on the following values. It's either par value or stated value or no par, no stated value. Okay, before I proceed, guys, any idea what's the difference between par value and stated value? Sino ang may idea? Ano pinagkaiba ng par at stated value? Sa problem, 'di ba? Pwedeng isa lang ibigay o kaya naman parehas. Ano kayang pinagkaiba nila? Volunteer? Walang gusto mag-volunteer, hindi ko kayo nakikita eh. Siguro sa susunod, lagyan ko kayo ng additional points yung magre-recite sa quiz, no? Lagyan natin. Gusto nyo ba yun? Okay?
Sir,
Yes, RJ.
sir, yung par value po kasi yung value po na yun, yung value po ng each share po na nakaspecified po sa article ng incorporation po tsaka ng share certificate. Pero yung stated value po, yun po yung consideration po na, yun po yung amount para na in-acquire po ng pinakamismong
Huwag mo na
buyer po
Tagalogin.
ng shares.
English mo na. You're reading
Yun
an
lang po,
English
sir.
definition, right?
Po?
Reading an English definition.
Wala po, sir.
Okay? Pero ayan, thank you very much. That's correct. No? Eventually, the difference between par value and stated value lies on, okay, the articles of incorporation. In your part 2, no, na mention doon that as you create a corporation, no, the founder or the original members of the corporation needs to file in the Securities and Exchange Commission the articles of incorporation, and also, no, after the articles of incorporation were being approved by the Securities and Exchange Commission, you are already being authorized to issue shares of stock. And it will be issued through what we so-called certificate of stocks. Okay? Hindi na ako nakapag-prepare ng picture dito, but you can search the internet later, no? Ano itsura ng articles of incorporation if you haven't seen it nung kayo ay nasa FAR 2 pa, and even stock certificates. Okay, so pag par value, ang sabi ho ni RJ kanina, if it is par value, this is a value indicated in both articles of incorporation at saka certificate of stocks. Okay? So, nakalagay parehas yun. Kung sinabing 5 peso par value, so nakalagay sa articles of incorporation, 5 pesos. Sa certificate of stocks, 5 pesos. Okay? Pero, kapag ito ay stated value, okay? Pag sinabi hong stated value, so this is a value that is not indicated in the articles of incorporation. Okay, mali. It's not indicated in, wait lang. Ayaw mabura. It's not indicated in the stock certificate, pero kasama siya sa articles of incorporation. Okay? So wala sa stock certificate. It's only stated in the articles of incorporation. Samantalang kapag no par or no stated value, wala po yung value in either of the articles of incorporation or even certificate of stocks. Okay? Eventually, in our revised corporation code, no par, no stated value is allowed, pero meron siyang minimum requirement as to how much it should be issued. Okay, mamaya in the last part ng ating discussion, meron akong summary doon ng about this no par, no stated value. Okay, that will be presented. Okay, any question, guys? So nakuha ba natin yung difference nitong tatlong ito, no? These are the values indicated either on the articles or stock certificates natin. Any question, guys? Clarification, are you still with me?
Opo.
Hindi naman ako nagcha-choppy?
Hindi po.
Hindi naman po.
Okay. Sige, so these are the values na pagbabasihan ng share capital natin. Okay? So, next to discuss, okay? Yung ordinary share, wala po kasing iba't ibang uri, but preference shares do have, no? So, let's discuss the various classification of preference shares, even though this will be more likely to be used pag diniscuss na natin yung dividends. Okay? Yung dividends is distribution of retained earnings or income of the entity, no, to the shareholders. Okay, so we have these types of preference shares or classification of preference shares. So we have cumulative. Okay? Pag sinabi natin cumulative, ibig sabihin entitled itong shares na to undeclared dividends. Okay? I hope na nagsusulat kayo kasi hindi ko masusulat lahat dito sa screen ko yon. So again, cumulative preference shares are those preference shares who's entitled to undeclared dividends, or other term for undeclared dividends, allowed siya for what we so-called dividend in arrears. Okay, so magagamit natin yung terminology na yan pagdating natin sa discussion ng dividends. Okay? Then, we have also non-cumulative. So ito po ay mga preference shares na not entitled naman. Okay? Not entitled to undeclared dividends. So, pag hindi na-deklara, okay, pag hindi po nakapagbigay yung company ng dividendo in a year, then a non-cumulative wala na siyang habol. No, halimbawa, ngayong taon, 2020, hindi nagdeklara yung company ng dividend. Okay? Next year, wala nang chance yung non-cumulative na makuha yung para sa taon ngayon. Compared with cumulative na kahit hindi ideklara ngayon 2020, kahit next year pa magdeklara, babayaran sa kanya yung para sa ngayong taon. Okay? And then pag participating naman, okay, it is more on usapang dividends ulit, no? Nagpa-participate siya in in a particular percentage, okay, after ng kanyang preferred dividends. Okay, kasi meron tayong pag-uusapan pagdating natin sa dividend discussion, okay, na kung saan pag nabigyan na yung preference, okay, after that, wala na siyang habol, ordinary na yung tira. Pero kapag participating, kahit mabigyan na yung preference, okay, meron na siya, okay, bibigyan na rin yung ordinary, tapos yung excess, hahatiin pa sa kanilang dalawa. So we will discuss that in the future. Okay? Ngayon, introduction pa lang to as to define ano lang yung differences nitong classifications na to. Pag non-participating naman, ibig sabihin, the preference shares are not entitled for any excess. Okay? Then convertible, pag convertible preference shares naman, from being a preference share, pwede siyang gawing ordinary. Okay? It could be converted into ordinary shares. And finally, redeemable preference shares. These are preference shares that could be redeemed at any point in time. Okay? So, yan yung iba't ibang uri ng preference shares. Don't worry if hindi nyo na-capture yung pinaka-essence nito kasi we don't have yet examples. We will be discussing them further pagdating natin sa dividend discussion. I think that is assigned on Friday if I'm not mistaken. Okay? Any question, guys, with regards to the classification of preference shares?
Nan po.
Malinaw ako naririnig.
Opo.
Hindi naman ako mabilis. Nasusundan niyo pa ba ako? Wala
Yes
nagsasalita.
po.
Okay? Sige, so that's the end of the introduction of share capital. Okay? Kasi dadako na ho tayo in the process that we will be discussing for today in the next 1 hour natin, okay, for the remaining slides. Okay? We will be talking about authorization. Okay, maya-maya ko na i-define yan. We have as well subscription and issuance. So itong dalawang processes na to, we will be discussing that today. And then by Thursday, we will be focusing on reacquisition and retirement. Tapos by Friday, we will be discussing about receipts of dividends. Okay? So, unti-unti matatapos natin itong process na to, okay, as we move forward with the various topics. Okay? So, uumpisahan natin yung discussion nitong process na to with what we so-called authorization. Okay? So, can you see, guys, on my screen authorized shares?
Opo.
Po.
Okay. So, may dalawang uri kasi, guys, ng corporation. Okay? So, we have yung tinatawag na stock corporation and we have also non-stock. Actually, pag pinag-aralan nyo po ito sa another subject which is, ano nga ba yung subject sa inyo? Law on Business Regulation, if I'm not mistaken, may subject kayong ganun. Okay, so mapapag-aralan nyo doon yung Corporation Code of the Philippines, and in accordance to that, no, marami pang uri ng corporation. Okay, what I'm just going to mention here would be stock at saka non-stock. So ito yung famous na dalawang type ng corporation na ginagamit natin in discussion. Okay, so pag sinabing stock corporation, we are allowed to issue shares. Okay? We are allowed to issue shares of stock. Pero kapag non-stock, we cannot issue shares of stocks. Okay? So sa pagbuo ng corporation, okay, pag i-discuss ko yung process niya, magsasama-sama lahat ng gustong bumuo ng corporation, okay, and then they will prepare yung articles of incorporation na nabanggit natin kanina, and then they will submit that to the Securities and Exchange Commissions. Okay, so the SEC is the government agency who handles the registration of especially large corporations as well as partnership as well. Okay? So pag inaprubahan ni Securities and Exchange Commission yung articles of incorporation, then magbibigay na sila ng go signal. Okay? Magbibigay na ng go signal by authorizing. Okay? Ito yung first process, 'di ba, sa process kanina, by authorizing the shares of a stock corporation. Take note ha, stock corporation lang ang in-authorize to issue shares. Okay? In-authorize siya to issue shares. And pag sinabing authorization in our book of accounts, in our accounting records, okay, it entails an entry. But it depends upon kung anong uri po ng method ang ginagamit. Okay? So we have two methods for recording our authorization. Okay? Authorization is the process by which the... Guys, nasusundan ba ako? Naririnig akong lahat?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm hoping na kayo ay nagsusulat ng sinasabi ko kasi hindi ko masusulat lahat dito, even though balikan nyo na lang din yung recording. So pag sinabing authorization, it is where the Securities and Exchange Commission, okay, approves the maximum, okay, inaaprubahan niya yung maximum number of shares that a company may issue. Okay? So, in the process of authorization, ina-approve ni SEC hanggang ilang maximum number of shares lang ang allowed na i-issue ng corporation. Okay? Are we clear on that, guys? Can you please repeat yung process ng authorization? Can somebody, Lady Lee? Okay, wala na naman. Tahimik na naman sila. Sige, so, ayun ha, pag sinabing authorization, it's the process that the SEC approves the maximum number of shares that a company may issue. Okay? So, there are two methods in recording the authorized shares of the company. Okay? So, they are, number one, we have memorandum entry method, and we have journal entry method. So I'm just presenting here the two, pero sa totoo lang, alin po ba yung ginagamit? Answer would be the memorandum entry method. Okay? So in the memorandum entry method, you will just simply create a memorandum entry. Of course, that is not a formal journal entry which requires amount of debit and credit. Okay? So, pwedeng ganito yung pattern yan. Authorized to issue, ilan yung shares na inapprove ni SEC. And then, shares of blank, share capital, it's either preference or ordinary ba siya. Okay? Tapos, magkano yung par value, okay, ng ating shares. Kung walang par value, okay, kung walang par value, di ba kanina in our discussion, it would be the stated value. Okay? So yun lang yung mga typical na kailangan natin makita if this is memorandum entry method. Samantalang, pag journal entry method, you need to create some sort of journal entry, which is kaya hindi siya masyadong ginagamit kasi it will create various account titles for share capital. Okay? Meron siyang unissued at saka meron din siyang authorized. Okay? So you debit unissued and credit authorized. Na makukompute yon based dun sa ilang shares yung inauthorize at saka magkano yung par value or stated value. Okay? So don't worry, I will not be using journal entry method. Pang basic accounting nyo na lang yan. Okay? So we will be using memorandum entry method. Okay? Are we clear on this, guys?
Yes po.
Yes, sir.
Hindi ako nag-choppy?
Hindi po, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. So, after ma-authorize, after natin na ma-record yung authorization, the next step is issuance. Okay? Pag sinabing issuance, by the way, ang pwedeng process dyan after ma-authorize, magpa-publish si corporation sa, let's say for example, website nila, o kaya naman sa newspaper, no? May tinatawag tayo na IPO, pagkabubukas pa lang, ano yung IPO, initial public offering, okay? So, wherein we have to give idea to the public that we are existing and we are issuing shares, okay? So, pag nag-issue tayo ng shares or pag nagbenta tayo ng shares, it will be depending upon ano yung marireceive nating kapalit, no? If we issue it. So ito yung pag-uusapan natin next, guys. In the issuance, it could be issued number 1 in exchange for cash. So bibigyan natin yung shareholders or investor na bibili ng shares, okay, kapalit ng cash na ibibigay niya sa company natin. Okay? Later in our discussion for cash, kasama rin doon yung lump sum payment. Pag sinabing lump sum payment, pwede siyang bumili ng sabay na preference and ordinary in just one price. So we will be discussing that later as well. Then, we have also what if ang na-receive naman natin ay non-cash asset or property. So ibig sabihin, kung walang cash, then it could be a land, a building, okay, or whatsoever na non-cash asset. And then also, in some cases, we have...
Sir, choppy po.
How about the rest? Guys?
Medyo choppy din po.
Sige, wait lang. How about this time? Guys?
Okay na po, sir.
Sa iba pa. Yung mga nagsabing choppy ako, am I okay na ngayon?
Okay.
Medyo okay na po.
Sa akin po.
O, sa iba. Paki-off muna. Dun sa clear, guys, pwede magsalita. Yung clear ako. Clear yung...
Clear po, sir.
Sino pa?
Clear po, sir.
Okay. Kanina nag-choppy ako sa inyo. Doon sa mga nagsabi ng clear.
Hindi po, sir.
Hindi rin po, sir.
Sige. So, that means na kung may clear na nakarating sa iba, it means maybe it would be your connection. Okay? So, sige. Ayun nga. Going back, kung nag-choppy ako sa part na yun, okay, the entity can issue in exchange of non-cash assets, okay? Iba't ibang uri ng asset aside from cash, except also receivables kasi hindi naman po tinatanggap typically na pambayad ng share capital ang receivable, okay? Also, in exchange of services na na-perform sa company natin, we could also issue shares. Pag-uusapan natin yan mamaya. And also, what if the shares would be being sold at subscription basis? So sa last part ng discussion natin for today, we will be discussing about subscription basis. Okay? So ito yung mga i-discuss natin sa mga susunod na slides. Any question, guys, before I proceed?
Wala po.
None, sir.
Malinaw ako sa'yo, Arthur? Malinaw yung audio?
Malinaw po.
Okay, thank you. So we will start with issuance for cash. Okay, so I am changing my screen. Okay, kita na yung
Okay
issuance
na
for.
po.
Okay, thank you. So as mentioned to you a while ago, pag issuance for cash, we will just simply receive cash, no? Okay, so ang tanong dyan, magkano yung cash na na-receive natin? Is it equal to the par value or stated value of the shares? Or is it above par value? Okay? So pag-usapan muna natin paano kung yung inisyo na shares ay at par or stated value. Okay? So if that's the case, okay, ang ibig sabihin lang nitong issued at par or stated value, ilan yung number of shares issued? Okay? Ilan yung binigay natin? Tapos, you just simply multiplied it with the par value or the stated value. Okay? Ganun yung ibig sabihin ng issuance at par or stated value. No? You receive equal amount. Okay, now, we just simply debit cash for the amount received. And then we credit share capital or ordinary share capital kung ordinary, preference share capital kung preference shares. Okay? So wala kayong ibang makikita na any account. Bakit? Kasi again, it is only issued at par value or stated value. Okay? So clear ba tayo sa issuance of share capital, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes po.
Yes po.
Wala kayong makikitang share premium, no? Kasi nga equal lang yung cash at saka share capital. And remember guys na as mentioned to you a while ago, in the components or contents ng shareholders equity, ang share capital ho is only recorded at par or at stated value. Okay? Yung share capital ha. Kasi yung excess saan mapupunta sa premium or paid in capital. Okay? So let's proceed. What if nag-issue tayo above par? Ibig sabihin, mas mataas sa par value. Okay, mamaya we will have example ng ganyan. Okay, sa next slide. Okay? So pag ganun yung case, kung magkano man yung issue price, okay, or selling price, okay, yun yung i-debit natin as cash. So yung cash natin is number of share issued. Okay, ilan yung inisyo natin multiplied by the issue price or selling price ng ating shares. Okay, yun yung cash. And then the ordinary share capital is the same kanina, which is ilang shares yung inisyu multiplied mo by par or stated value. And any excess, kasi above par, di ba? So any excess nung na-receive mong cash over the capital, that would be now considered as an ordinary share premium or preference share premium, or in other terminologies as discussed kanina, paid in capital or additional paid in capital. Okay? Are we clear on that, guys? Kapag above par, so kapag above par or stated value, okay, it would be having a premium or paid in capital. Pero kapag it is at par or stated value, then no premium. Okay, question guys? Clarification?
Wala po.
None po.
Okay, wala. Di ba kayo na-curious bakit walang below par? Wala bang na-curious? Bakit walang below par or below stated sa example ni Sir?
Sir, kasi hindi pwede i-issue pag less than 5.
Sino to? Sino tong sumagot? Sorry.
Anggara po, sir.
Okay, correct. Thank you very much, Jemmer. Okay. So, ang sabi sa revised corporation code natin, we could not issue below par or stated value. Okay? Nakalagay yon. So, in this case, dahil bawal mag-issue in accordance with our Philippine law ha, sa ibang bansa, no, in the US, if I'm not mistaken, allowed yon na pwedeng lower, kaya nga meron na term na discount on ordinary share, parang ganun yung terminology nila kasi they could issue at a lower par value or at lower than par or stated. Pero sa Philippines, no ang below par or stated value. Okay, so thank you very much, Jemmer, on that one. Okay, good point. Sige, so that's the theoretical discussion. Ngayon, pag-usapan natin yung example. Okay? So, I'm transitioning to next slide. Can you see now my screen? It's Tinola Corporation.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's say, for example, Tinola Corporation was organized on January 1, 2020. It was authorized to issue 10,200 peso par. So, naka-par value tayo, ordinary share. Okay, and then on January 8, 2020, the corporation is issued at 5,000 shares. Okay, so we have two scenarios based on what we have discussed theoretically. Okay, it's either number one, issued at 200, which is at par, and then we have above par. Paano kapag in-issue ng 250 per share? So unahin ko muna yung scenario 1. What if the shares were being issued at 200, which is at par value? Okay? So, as simple as I have told you a while ago, no? Ilan yung shares na in-issue natin? So, 5,000. Then, multiplied it with the issue price or the par, which is 200 pesos. Kaya, simple entry if issued at par is debit cash, 1 million. And credit ordinary share capital, 1 million. Okay? Walang any excess since we have just issued it at par on January 8. Okay? Then, on scenario 2, what if we have issued it above par, which is 250 pesos per share? So again, the cash that we are about to receive would be 5,000 shares times 250, which is the issue price. Okay, kaya debit cash, 1,250,000. Then, our ordinary share capital should be at par value. Remember that, ang ordinary share capital should be recorded at par or stated value. Kaya 5,000 shares multiplied by the par value of 200 peso per share. So that's a total of 1 million. Any excess of the issue price na 1,250,000 over the ordinary share capital is considered as share premium amounting to 250,000. Okay? Any question, guys? Clarification. Violent reaction. Malinaw?
None po.
Malinaw audio ko ha? Malinaw ba? Or nag-choppy? Hindi. Guys.
Clear
Hindi naman
naman,
po,
sir.
Okay. Sige. So, that's if issued above par or at par, no? So, the next under issuance for cash, okay, is isasabay na natin, what if nagkaroon ng lump sum? Okay, pag sinabing lump sum or even one price, no? Ibig sabihin nun, we have issued two types of shares which are ordinary shares at saka preference shares. Pero yung presyo ng dalawa is to be paid at lump sum price, meaning isang amount lang yung binayaran pero kailangan natin siyang i-allocate into different shares kasi dalawa yan magkahiwalay na i-record ang ordinary at saka preference shares. So what we're going to do if we have a lump sum price is to compute based on the fair value. So mag-allocation tayo, magkano yung mapupunta sa ordinary shares, magkano rin yung mapupunta sa preference share using the fair value. Okay? So tignan natin. So the Adobo Corporation was organized on January 1, 2020. It is organized to issue 10,000 shares, okay, at 150 par value, ordinary share, at saka 5%, nagtataka kayo bakit may percentage, hindi po yan hindi po yan stated rate or effective rate. Okay, we are not already in liabilities. This is actually yung tinatawag natin pagdating natin sa dividends na preferential rate. Okay? So that's the percentage of dividends that the preference shares will receive. Okay, yung 5%. Then, 10,200 par value preference shares. So yun yung mga authorized to issue. And then, a shareholder, no? On January 8, 2020, purchase. So bumili siya. 2,500 ordinary at saka 1,000 preference shares. Pero, mapapansin nyo, isa lang binayaran niya. Magkano? 900,000. So that's the lump sum price, no? Hindi na po hinati nung shareholders. Okay, ito yung para sa ordinary, ito yung para sa preference. Walang ganun, Mars, no? Ang gagawin lang is, okay, lump sum price, bibilihin ko yung dalawa. Ito yung 900,000. Okay? And then, at the time na binenta po yung shares na yon, the fair value was 200 for ordinary and preference 250. No? So, what shall we do? So, the typical thing that you need to do is first to compute magkano po yung total fair value nung dalawang shares. Okay? And how to do that? For ordinary, as mentioned in the problem, you have 2,500 shares being issued. And then magkano yung fair value? Ang fair value niya ho is 200 peso per share. Kaya 200, if we multiply that 2,500 by 200, that's equivalent to 500,000. For preference share, we have to issue 1,000 preference shares. Then, ang fair value niya is 250. No? So, times 250, so that would be 250,000. If we add them all, that would be 750,000. So, yun na yung value. That's the total fair value which will be used in the allocation. Okay? So, napansin niyo no? 750 lang pala fair value pero ang binayaran ni shareholder is 900,000. So, okay lang yun. No? Walang problema. Now, how to allocate? So, nandito sa baba, we have the allocation. So, ang i-allocate natin is yung total amount na 900,000 na binayaran ng shareholder. Okay? So, allocate it using the fair value. So, sa ordinary share, meron ho tayong 500,000, okay, over the total fair value na 750,000. So, for ordinary share, it would be allocated at 600,000. Sir, 600,000 for the ordinary share capital? Answer, hindi. No? It's related to ordinary shares. Mamaya, i-distribute pa natin yung 600,000 na yan as to share capital at saka sa share premium. Okay, mamaya sa next slide yon. Then, in preference share, again, you have 900,000. Then, we have 250,000 na fair value kanina. All over the 750,000 na total fair value. That's why it would be 900,000. Ay, sorry. 300,000 for the preference share na mamaya i-allocate din natin at our share capital at saka share premium. Okay? Nagets ho ba kung paano natin in-allocate, guys? Any questions?
Wala po, sir.
None po.
Okay, thank you very much. Kung wala, now let's proceed to the entries. Okay, I'm showing the next slide already. I hope na nakikita na po ninyo yung entry for the issuance of preference share and ordinary lump sum. Nakikita na po ba ninyo, guys?
Makikita na po, sir.
Okay. So, para entryhan yung lump sum price issuance of ordinary and preference. Okay, so we will be debiting cash. Marireceive natin yung binayaran ni shareholder na 900,000. And then remember, for ordinary share capital, meron tayong 600,000. Tama ho ba? So yung 600,000 na yon mahahati saan? Sa ordinary share capital. Remember, I put an emphasis a while ago that the share capital should be at par or stated value. Okay? So kaya, yung ordinary share capital mo, okay, which is 2,500 shares, just simply multiply it with the par value na 150 pesos. Nasa problem yung 150 pesos par value, ang equivalent nun is 375,000. So that's the share capital. Now, kung 600,000 yung para sa ordinary share kanina, the excess of the 600,000 over the share capital of 375,000 will now be charged as a share premium. Kaya yung ordinary share premium natin, okay, is charged as 225,000. Nakabase siya doon sa allocation sa previous slide na 600,000 and the 375,000 na share capital. Okay? And then, for the preference share capital naman, again, your preference share capital should also be at par or stated value. Kaya yung 1,000 shares na sinabi sa problem kanina, multiply it with the 200 par value of preference shares, okay, that's equal to 200,000. And then remember, nakapag-allocate tayo ng 300,000 for the preference shares. Then we deduct our share capital or preference share capital na 200,000, kaya ang para lang sa preference share premium is 100,000. Okay? So it is important that we allocate properly using the fair values. Okay? And we should not exceed our allocation doon sa ilalagay natin sa premium at saka share capital on the individual classification of shares. Any question, guys? Clarification? Naintindihan po ba?
Opo, sir.
How about the rest? Are we clear?
Naintindihan po.
Okay. Audio, okay naman? Audio check? Clear?
Clear po, sir.
Clear po.
Okay, thank you sa mga sumasagot. Okay, so we are done on issuance of shares through cash. Okay, so dalawa yung diniscuss natin under cash. Yung usual issuance na at par at saka above par at saka allocation using the ordinary and preference share at lump sum price. Okay? Wala kayong tanong? Sir, possible po ba na walang fair value? Wala ba nakaisip sa inyo nun? Paano kung walang fair value? Kasi typically, it should be the fair value eh. Pero paano kaya kung walang fair value sa tingin ninyo? Pag wala ng fair value, titigil na mundo nyo? Ano sa tingin nyo, guys? Any idea? Okay, grabe, ang daming nag-uunahan sumagot. So, kung wala, okay, so supposed to be given yung fair value. Okay, kasi that's the primary basis. Ngayon, just in case lang in case na sa problem, walang fair value. In case lang, rare case lang yan, no? Hindi po palaging nangyari or as in wala talaga nangyari. Kapag walang fair value used to allocate, the last resort, kung ito lang yung given, will be used as par value. Okay? Par value na ang allocation natin kung walang fair value. Pero again, we are not encouraging par value kasi sa totoong buhay naman, the fair value is readily available kasi pwede kang tumingin sa Philippine Stock Exchange, 'di ba? Sa mga stock exchange natin, published websites, no, for the market value of shares. Okay?
Yes
So wala
po.
akong Okay, so I will now move to issuance, okay, in exchange of non-cash assets or properties. Meaning, wala po tayong cash na marireceive, but rather we have either land, building, machineries, equipment, furnitures and fixtures, and others, no? Which are sources of our share capital. Okay, so kapag nagkaroon ng issuance, ito yung tatandaan nyo at palagi nyo hahanapin. What is the fair value of the non-cash asset or property? Okay? Kailangan ma-identify natin magkano yung fair value ng non-cash asset or property. It could be the selling price o kaya naman yung fair value set. Okay? Yun yung first priority. If wala pong fair value yung fair value yung ating property, then the next in the list na pwede mong gamitin is the fair value of the shares. Okay? Are we clear on that? Pag given yung dalawa, of course, based on the priority, ang mauuna ay si fair value ng non-cash assets. Okay? Actually, it is the same doon sa issuance of cash. Ang pinagkaiba lang yung debit natin dito, it's not cash anymore, but rather any non-cash asset na i-exchange ng kung sino mang shareholder. Okay? Or prospective shareholder. Okay? Are we clear on this order of priority, guys? Either of the two will be given. So note the priority. Question? Hello?
None, sir.
Sir,
Wala naman po.
di ba po
Sige.
minsan hindi po fair value yung ginagamit sa pag-ano ng asset.
What do you mean?
Parang based po sa depreciation niya. Or iba pong ano yun.
Wala. Na, walang depreciation. Hello, kabibigay pa lang sa'yo, magdi-depreciation ka na. Carrying value siguro yung tinutukoy mo. Tama ba?
Ay, opo. Carrying value po pala.
Okay. Actually, kung babasahin nyo sa PPE, kung diniscuss ninyo sa IAS number 16 under PPE, no, in Intact 2 ata yun, Intact 2 or Intact 1, no, if ever na you record the asset, the first priority is the fair value of the asset and then the fair value of the consideration. Ngayon, kapag wala itong dalawang to, which is impossible to happen, saka ka lang pwedeng gumamit ng saka ka lang pwedeng gumamit ng carrying value ng asset. Kaya hindi ko siya dinidiscuss dito because in the reality, okay, even in IFRS number 2, pag diniscuss natin to, pag non-cash considerations ang marireceive for shares, okay, we need to record it at the fair value of whatever we have received. Okay, kaya we prioritize the fair value of the non-cash assets. Okay, so least priority to and actually not a priority kasi either of these two should be given or should be present in the reality. Okay, are we clear?
Okay po.
Okay, so let's give an example about the issuance of non-cash assets. Okay, so we have Sinigang Corporation was organized on January 1, 2020. It was authorized to issue 10,200 par value ordinary shares. So on January 8, the corporation issued 5,000 shares in exchange of the land. So land yung kapalit and that is a non-cash asset. Okay? So we have two scenarios to show paano natin i-record yung non-cash asset na yon. So if the fair value of the land of the property was given at 1,500,000, okay, and the fair value of the shares will also given at 230. So na-mention ko kanina sa inyo na if the two are present, then what's the priority? Ano yung priority natin, Miss Ingrid? What's the priority?
Yung
Is
fair
Ming-
value po ng non-cash asset or yung property po, sir.
Very good. So the fair value of the non-cash asset, which is 1,500,000, will be recorded as the asset. Okay? Kaya ang entry for scenario 1, we debit the property, which is land, amounting to 1,500,000. And then we credit ordinary share capital. Again, remember that the ordinary share capital should be at par value. Ilang shares? 5,000 shares. Then we have 200 peso par, kaya 1 million yung ordinary share capital being credited. And then we credit ordinary share premium for the excess na 500,000. Okay? And then, on scenario 2, what if the fair value of the land is unavailable? So in the list of priority, wala po yung number 1. What will we do? No? But the fair value of the share was given at 230. Okay? So ang gagawin natin, we will simply use the fair value of the shares since yun yung given. So the land will be recorded at the fair value of the share, which is 5,000 shares. Okay? Multiplied by 230. Is this 1,150,000 correct, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes po.
thank you. So land will be recorded at the fair value of the shares. And then we credit ordinary share capital again at par value. And then we credit ordinary share premium, which is the excess na 150,000. Okay? Question? Clarification?
None po, sir.
Sir, pag walang
Sige, go, Steve. Naririnig kita. Pag
pag walang
walang,
fair value ng non-cash tapos share issue po, pwede pong gamitin yung par.
okay. So dito sa problem na to, okay, sige, thank you very much. Good point. Paano kung sa problem na to, scenario 3, walang fair value yung land, wala rin fair value yung share. Correct, no? Dahil wala rin carrying value yung non-cash asset na gagamitin. So, in the end, kung wala man yung lahat ng fair value at saka carrying value, you can use the par value. Okay? In the case lang ng problem, ha? Kasi nga, we do not have any fair value to rely on for our recording or even the carrying value of the non-cash asset. Okay, last ano 'yon. Kumbaga kanina tinanong kung pwede ba yung carrying value, pwede yung carrying value kung wala yung dalawang fair value. Pero kapag wala rin pati yung carrying value, then you can have the par value. Okay? Clear po ba?
Opo, thank you po.
Okay. Any other questions before I proceed? Okay, mukhang wala na. I will proceed with the next type or way how we issue. So, we could issue as well, no, in exchange of services. Okay, halimbawa kasi pre-operating pa lang yung business. Okay, let's say for example, you have employed lawyers, even accountants na mag-aayos nung inyong corporation, no, as it starts. Okay, we can issue shares, okay, related to these services. And in issuing shares for services, we have also some priorities na pwedeng i-record, no. First would be the fair value of the services. Magkano ba talaga yung pinaka-binil na services sa iyo? No, that's the fair value of services. If the fair value of the services were not given, then we can proceed with the fair value of the shares. Ngayon, wala kayong carrying value unlike kanina na ito ay property, di ba? Ito ngayon, service, so we cannot have any carrying value. Walang carrying value, okay? Pag wala na po itong fair value na dalawa in rare cases lang, okay, bihirang pagkakataon lang, then you can use the par value or stated value. Only if, uulitin ko, hindi present yung mga fair values. Okay? Are we clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes po.
Okay, thank you. So, Let's have now an example. So Menudo Corporation was again organized on January 1, 2020. Again, authorized shares nandyan na. On January 8, 2020, the corporation issued 5,000 shares in payment of services performed by a lawyer. Okay? And the lawyer's performance will be charged under pre-operating expenses. Okay? So scenario number 1, okay, the fair value of services is 150 and then the fair value of the share is 23. Again, based on the priority, we will be using the fair value of the services, which is 150,000. Kaya we debit pre-operating expenses, 150,000. Okay, and then we credit the ordinary share capital, of course, at par value. So that would be 5,000 shares multiplied by 20 na par value. Then we credit the excess to ordinary share premium at 50,000. Okay? So again, that's if both of the fair values were given. However, in scenario 2, what if hindi given or hindi po present and undeterminable yung fair value ng services? Okay? But the fair value of the share was given. So thus, our entry would be debit pre-operating expenses, charge as the fair value of the shares, which is 5,000 times 23 pesos. Then we credit ordinary share capital, okay? That's 5,000 times 20 pesos na par. And then credit tayo ng ordinary share premium na 15,000 pesos. Okay? Are we clear, guys?
Yes po.
Okay? Wala na po bang question about this? Yun lang ha, pag hindi present yung dalawa, okay, wala tayong choice kung hindi gamitin yung par value. Pero again, sa totoong buhay, never that it happens since kayang-kaya kasi sa totoong buhay na i-determine either the fair value of the services or the fair value of the shares. Okay, are you still with me, guys? We still have 17 minutes. Any
Yes
question?
po.
None po.
None po.
None po.
Sige, so I will move forward now to our next way how to issue shares. Okay, ito na. We'll be talking about subscription basis. Okay, so eventually, pag sinabing on a subscription basis, para rin siyang for cash. However, instead na isang biglaan yung pagbabayad ng shares, okay, the subscriber yung tawag natin to those who wants to buy the share will pay for it on an installment basis. Okay? Biglaan. Hindi biglaan. Ang tawag dito? Paunti-unti yung payment. Okay? Depending upon how thus it works for those who wants to buy those shares. Okay? So, in this case, kahit installment, no? The issuance of shares will only happen on full payment. By the way, nalimutan kong sabihin sa inyo, no? Pag sinabi pong issuance of shares, okay, ibig sabihin yan based din sa mga previous na mga naging example natin dito sa discussion today. Pag may issuance of shares, ibig sabihin, ibibigay mo na yung certificate of stock or stock certificate doon sa bumili na shareholder. Okay? Pero under installment basis or subscription basis, matatanggap lang ni subscriber yung certificate of stocks na yon kapag nag-fully payment na siya. Okay? As in, bayad na siyang lahat. Kung magkano man yung subscribe capital niya or magkano man yung kanyang whole subscriptions. Okay? Are we clear on that, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay? So eventually, pag nag-subscribe, ibig sabihin hindi natin marireceive yung talagang pinaka-full amount ng cash pa ha. Kasi pwedeng mag-down payment si subscriber tapos yung the rest po ay kanyang unti-untiin. Basta technically, the subscriber needs to have a down payment. Okay? So let me discuss the concept of subscription using the next example. Okay? Can you see now my screen about Tosino Corporation?
Wala pa po.
How about the rest?
Wala pa rin po, sir.
Hala. Okay, let's
Meron na
read.
po, sir.
Okay, lahat ba nakikita na yung Tosino Corporation? Or baka Tosino na yung hinahanap nyo na lalabas sa screen?
Ayan, okay na po, okay na po.
Nakita na po, sir.
Name ng company yun ha, sa mga gutom na. Walang Tosinong lalabas din sa screen ko. Okay. Let me read it. Okay, so on December 3, 2019, Tosino Corporation received a subscription of 5,000 shares, okay, of its 10 peso par, okay, yun yung par value, at 15 pesos. Okay, 15 pesos is the subscription price. And then at that time, nagkaroon din ng down payment na 25, okay, was received, okay, and be fully paid on January 10. Okay? So, eventually, upon subscription, okay, ito yung tatandaan ninyo, upon subscription, okay, i-record muna natin lahat. So, the first entry on December 3 would be for the subscription, whole subscription. We will be debiting subscription receivable. By the way, ito yung binanggit ko kanina sa inyo na if collectible within 12 months, then current asset. If not, then it will be deducted from the stockholders' equity. Okay, so the whole subscription would be the 5,000 shares, okay, multiplied by the subscription price of 15, and that would be 75,000. On the other hand, we credited subscribed share capital. Okay, hindi pa siya ordinary share capital kasi it is not yet fully paid. Okay, kaya nilagay muna natin siya under the title of subscribed share capital. And if you have remembered kanina, our subscribed share capital is also part of our share capital. Hindi ba? Tatlo yung nasa share capital natin. We have the ordinary share capital, our preference share capital, at saka subscribed share capital. Okay? So yun yung mga contents ng share capital. Okay? So bura lang ako saglit. By the way, real time ba lumalabas sa inyo yung aking sinusulat or hindi?
Medyo delay po sa akin, sir.
Okay. Ang ginawa ko lang ay binura ko yung sinulat ko na subscribe share capital na pangalan nito share capital. Okay? So ayun, to continue with ayun nga, credit subscribe share capital ordinary, and that will be at par value. So 5,000 shares multiplied it with 10 peso, no, which is the par, kaya 50,000 pesos 'yon. And then we credit the excess ordinary share premium at 25,000. Take note lang guys ha, that the share premium will automatically be recorded at the date of subscription. Okay? Hindi na natin aantayin na ma-issue pa yung shares bago tayo magkaroon ng share premium. Okay? Tandaan yan. Kasi in theory, no, sa theoretical questions, pwede kayong tanungin na, okay, when are we going to record the ordinary share premium or share premium if in case that shares were issued on subscription basis? The answer would be at the date of subscription. Okay? And then, to continue lang, since sinabi sa problem that the shareholder or the subscriber, no, make a 25% down payment. So, i-record natin yung down payment. So, we debit cash amounting to 18,750 and credit subscription receivable 18,750. Okay? So, that's coming from our 75,000 peso na subscription receivable multiplied by 25%. Okay? So, these are the entries at the date of subscription. Okay, may magtatanong dyan, Sir, pwede ho bang i-compound journal entry yan? Pwede ho bang i-compound journal entry? Ang sagot, yes or no? Sagot? Answer, yes. No? Pwede mong i-compound journal entry yan. And can somebody make this entry a compound journal entry? Sinong gustong mag-try ng compound journal entry nitong 2 separate entries on December 3, 2019? Hello, guys.
Sir, try.
Sino to?
Arthur po.
Okay, wait lang. O yung iba, makiparticipate naman kayo. Alam ko naghuhugas kayo ng pinggan. Okay? Yung iba nakahilata na. No, yung iba kumakain na. Minsan participate din tayo, ha? Para hindi lang iilan ng ano. Okay? So, sige Arthur, proceed. What's the compound? I will not write it here, guys, ha? Just listen to what Arthur will give you as the compound journal entry. Sige, proceed.
Debit to cash po na 56,250. Debit
Ulit?
to subscription receipt.
Wait. Magkano yung cash?
Ay, debit to cash 18,750. Debit to subscription receivable 56,250 po. Baligtad po pala.
Okay, tapos?
Credit to subscribe share capital ordinary 50,000. Credit to ordinary share premium 25,000.
Okay, correct. Thank you very much, Arthur. So let me just repeat it. So debit cash, yun pa ring 18,750. Okay? Then, yung subscription receivable, debit din. Yung 75,000 kanina, bawasan mo lang nung 18,750 na na-receive. So that would be 56,250. Okay? 56,250. And then we credit, same, subscribe share capital, 50,000. And we credit ordinary share premium, 25,000. Okay? Are we clear on that? Thank you very much, Arthur. So that's if you want compound journal entry. So wala rin akong problema whether you make it as compound or magkahiwalay. Any question, guys? Clarification?
None po.
How about the others?
None po, sir. None po, sir.
Wala naman. Sure? Saglit lang ha. I'm checking for something. Okay? Sige. So, next would be, what if, di ba sabi sa problem kanina, sige, tatanungin pala kita. Balik ako dun sa previous slide. Anong presentation nung natitirang subscription receivable na 56,250? 'Di ba? Sabi natin kanina, we have 56,250 na natitirang receivable at the end of December 31, 2019. What would be its classification sa balance sheet? Is it current asset or is it a contra equity account?
Current asset, sir.
Why? That's correct. Current
Within
asset siya.
12 months po.
Kasi, sir, payable po within 12 months.
No? Yes. Sige, thank you. As stated in the problem, we are expecting it to be collected on January 10, 2020, which is actually few days after the end of the reporting period. Kaya we could classify this 56,250 as current, okay, current asset. So, pag nag-present ka sa balance sheet, magiging current asset siya. Okay? So, wala lang, natanong ko lang 'yon para hindi nyo malimutan. Okay, so let's now proceed. What if the entry, okay, or the full payment of the 56,250 already were settled on January 10 as expected? Okay? So, it would be, no? Debit, cash, 56,250, and credit, subscription receivable, 56,250. Okay? So, nakolekta na nating lahat. So, that's why, as stated a while ago in our theoretical discussion, we need already to, okay? We need already to give, no, the stock certificate kanino? Kay shareholder. Okay? Shareholder na, hindi na siya subscriber. Kasi nga, fully paid na po siya. So what will happen is ita-transfer lang natin pag binigay na natin yung stock certificate sa shareholder. We debit subscribe share capital, okay, ordinary. So yung full amount kanina in the first entry, which is 50,000, and then we credit the ordinary share capital. And this entry will denote now na fully paid na ho si subscriber. Okay? Are we clear on that, guys? Any question? So itong senaryo natin na fully paid. Okay? Na fully paid yung ating subscriptions. Okay? Any questions? Kung tatanungin niyo ako, paano kung hindi na fully paid, actually, that will be discussed under subscription default. Okay? And since it is already 8:57 and ayokong lumampas ngayong araw, then we will just continue this subscription default next meeting. So this will be our first part discussion. Tapos, yung mga susunod na topics, okay, after nitong subscription default. Okay? Any questions, clarification about yung subscription muna at full blast amount, okay, or fully paid amount? Mahaba-haba pa kasi yung subscription default at saka maraming technicalities for discussion. So around mga 15 minutes pa to. So hindi ko na kayo pwedeng i-extend, or ayoko na rin kayo extend kasi pagod na kayo. Okay? Any question, guys? Clarification? I will stop it here. No? Any question about what we have discussed previously ngayong araw?
None po, sir.
Nagets naman?
Yes.
Opo.
Okay? So, bali again, i-continue ko yung discussion by by Thursday. Ito yung starting point natin. So kung magbabasa kayo, please read the subscription default up to the last of this presentation, part 1. Tapos ang susunod na i-discuss is yung part 2. Ang part 2 kasi is entitled Reacquisition and Retirement. Okay? So reacquisition and retirement. So I will discuss that as well, and kung kakayanin din ng time natin, ito yung kagandahan sa natin, no, sa topics natin, I could be able to play on it, no, pwede kong iusog kasi we are still on track. Okay? Ahead of ata tayo, tama ba? Ahead of track tayo sa ibang section. Tapos na ba sila sa non-financial?
Di pa po ata sila, sir, tapos.
Ay, Ma'am Elaine, hindi pa tapos yung kakilala niyo?
Para pong nagkasagot po lang po ata sila ng exercise about provision po.
Okay. Sige. So, hindi ko naman binibilisan, no. I am just being curious of the time kasi yun yung napag-usapan namin baka mamaya tayo yung mahuli. And also, don't worry, for stockholders equity, 2 meeting yung naka-assign, synchronous parehas yun. Next Tuesday at saka next Thursday, doon naka-assign tayo magsasagot ng problems. Okay? Ayun. Any question, guys? Wala na? So, it's already 9 o'clock. Okay? So, I hope na may natutunan kayo. And again, if you do have any questions, okay, just feel free to reach out. Okay, kahit tomorrow, okay lang naman. Okay, and then we will continue our discussion on Thursday. Okay? So, wala nang question, guys?
Wala naman po.
Wala na po.
Tignan ko lang kung sino pang mga nasa call. Nag-open lang ako ng laptop ko. Okay. Buti naman hindi tayo masyadong nagloko sa connection. Okay. Wait lang ha. Check ko lang yung attendance ninyo. I mean, titignan ko lang kung sino. Sorry for the feedback, guys. Nalimutan ko naka-open yung ano. Okay, so nagbago ng layout yung ating Teams. Okay, sige. So wait lang ha, screenshot ko lang to. Ayan, so thank you very much guys for attending our class. Have a rest, no? Take a rest, and I will just see you all on Thursday for our continuation. So good night guys and have a great day. Okay, you are dismissed.
Salamat
Bye-bye.
po.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
Thank you,
po, sir.
sir. Bye-bye, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.